Given the texture of the flop, a lot of players would have raised there.
So now the turn. Queen of diamonds, great card for Casale.
Casale has just jumped out to the lead with 2 pair. He should continue betting.
And he does, 275,000. And Seidel will make the call. Casale takes a long look.
I think he's really enjoying his time here at the final table.
It's his moment in the sun, and look at that. He fills up with a queen on the river.
Check with it.
And now he checks.
Yeah, Casale trying to be a little bit tricky here, but probably smells a little fishy to Erik Seidel. You know, the guy bet the flop, he bet the turn, and all of a sudden he stops on the river.
All right, check.
And he checks.
Why don't you bet?
Wow.
Well, this time the self-proclaimed bluff machine had the goods.
Tricky check.
And by that, what Erik Seidel means is thank you for not forcing me to make a really tough decision on the river.
This old
You
guy
never
is
know what
so
I'll do.
tricky.
You never know what I'll do.
Never know.
Yeah.
He's gone from the bluff machine to the nut peddler.
Well, he wins almost 1 million chips in that pot. Nino Murata now going to fold his hand, so will Chris Anthopoulos. And Ling. Now Alex Kostritsin with an ace-10. Guy who just began playing this game a couple of years ago. And he is going to raise it up to 72,000.
I'll leave it to Eric.
Casale gets out of the way. Seidel now. King-Jack. And he makes the call. So 2 players to the flop. Queen 10-3 on the flop.
Action flop, Kostritsin middle pair, Seidel open-ended straight draw. Both players check.
And an 8 of diamonds on the turn. Seidel checks.
With a flush draw out there now, Kostritsin needs to bet to protect his hand. He's reaching for chips.
And he does bet. He bets 120,000. Now Seidel, who still has an up and down straight draw and an overcard, he makes the call.
Eric's looking for an ace or a 9 to complete that straight, or a king for top pair.
But it's a 5 of hearts. That's no help to Seidel, and he checks.
Kostritsin, he only has second pair, but he's a very strange bet, 120,000, tiny little bet. And Erik Seidel, there is nothing he can beat except a stone cold bluff. Nothing.
So what's he thinking about here?
He's thinking, well, you know, Kostritsin was on the button. Maybe he was just trying to steal the blinds with 2 random cards, and calls with a king high. Kostritsin will rake the pot.
Well, a rather surprising call, I think, from Erik Seidel. But Kostritsin will take it. He moves into second place now with over 3 million chips. Seidel's radar maybe just a little blip off. We're coming back. Welcome back to the final table of the FullTiltPoker.net Aussie Millions. And here's where we stand right now. Mike Chrisanthopoulos continues to be our chip leader, double that of Alex Kostritsin, and then it's pretty close down to the 2 short stacks, Nino Murata and Peter Ling. The blinds now 12,000 and 24,000 with a 4,000 ante. Kostritsin's going to throw that away. So will Casale. Seidel looking at a 9-7, going to raise to 70,000.
Taking a shot at stealing the blinds from late position.
Action folding around to Mike Chrisanthopoulos now with a king-3. He'll fold. Now Peter Ling. Ling in a big blind, but on a short stack with a pair of 4s. And he'll call.
A lot of players on a short stack might feel desperate enough to push it all in. Ling elects to play it safe.
2 players to the flop, and a very good flop for Ling. He hits a set of 4s and checks to Seidel, trying to set a trap.
Seidel has nothing but high hopes.
And he bets 125,000.
Peter Ling with a set of 4s. If he's concerned about the flush draw, he'll raise. No, he just calls.
Now the turn, and it's a deuce of hearts. Hand playing out perfectly for Peter Ling right now. He checks.
Seidel trying to figure out, is my man on a flush draw with a short stack? If so, maybe I can get him to lay it down.
Wow, he's going all in.
Call.
And an instant call from Ling.
Jesus. He's got an eyes.
A wry laugh from Eric Seidel. He knows he'll need running cards to win here. Oh, wait, there's only one card left.
And it's a king on the river, but it's all a moot point. And Peter Ling is going to double up, much to the joy of his mates watching outside. Peter is playing for more than just himself. Those friends outside are from his home game, and they're more than interested to see how far he gets at the final table.
My name is Peter Ling. I am from Melbourne. I'd say I'm an amateur. I only started about 2 years ago. Everyone's dream is to enter into the Aussie Millions, but none of us have 10,500. So a few friends got together, 8 of us, and we thought we'd play a home satellite. So 10 meetings throughout the year. Every time we meet, we contribute X amount. And then at the end of the series, we have 2 seats, and the other 7 guys get to split the winnings as well.
He's very lucky. He's a good player, but he's also a very, very lucky player, and that's very important. I'm calling him, Lucky Ling, because every time it's like an all-in, and he's got like, a few hours. He's like, watch this, he's gonna get it. Watch this, he's gonna get it. Bang, he gets it.
Oh, I love this game. It is definitely intimidating. After day 1, I couldn't really sleep because I was so excited. I got up at 6 because I just couldn't sleep and I wanted to see who I was playing with. I looked at the names on my table. I was with Andy Black, Phil Ivey and Joe Hashim. There was no way I was going back to bed that morning. To win the Aussie Millions, it sounds like a cliche, but it is the ultimate dream. I mean, I still feel like it's quite surreal. I still have to pinch myself every now and then and think, is this really happening? My friends come down and it's just, they're living their dreams through me, and I think I'm carrying it for them as well, so it'd just be amazing.
Well, if Peter can win the main event, he'll earn half of the $1.65 million grand prize. Meanwhile, each of the 7 players from his home game will get about $120,000. So everybody has a vested interest in the well-being of Peter Ling.
Peter never told his mother that he actually entered the Aussie Millions. I think now might be a time to make a little phone call. Hey, Mom.
I'm here. I'm still here. And so is Alex Kostritsin as he picks up pocket aces. And he's going to count out a raise and raise it up to $72,000.
Uh-oh. Yeah, this is a short-handed table, only 6 players.
Nice.
Jacks look like a royal flush at this point, and I don't blame Casale for raising here on the button.
So he calls the $72,000, looks around the table, and now we'll count out a raise to $277,000. Eric Seidel with a pair of 7s. Lots of pairs, and Seidel's going to throw it away. So is Murata. Now back to Kostritsin.
400 more. 400 more.
And he
More.
announces
More.